The last 2 years, I have the privilege of working for General Electric as a professor in residence and chief innovation consultant. And what a great opportunity for a faculty to work with a real company where real people are solving real problems in real life. And one of the projects that I got involved in is how to accelerate General Electric's growth in India and China. And I worked with GE Healthcare in India. And what we found was in their strategic plan, where they basically took GE's global products and were selling in India, their rate of growth was about 15% every year. But when we did a different kind of analysis, where instead of taking a product push approach, where you take the global product and push it into Indian market, we took a market back approach, where we said, let's talk about what are the problems that the Indian consumer faces in healthcare arena. And then what can GE do to use their capabilities to solve those problems? When we took a market back approach, we felt GE Healthcare in India could grow 3 to 4 times faster than what they thought was possible. That became the genesis of the idea that led to the Harvard Business Review article that I have co-authored with Jeff Immelt, the CEO of General Electric, and Chris Trimble, my colleague at the Tuck School. And this article, which is titled How GE is Disrupting Itself, will appear in the October issue of HBR, and it makes 3 very important points. Point number 1, winning in emerging markets for multinationals is not a nice thing to do, but it is the very oxygen which is going to fuel growth in the US market. Take, for instance, one of GE's innovations in India. They created an EKG machine for about $1,000. This EKG machine in India is portable because in India, the healthcare infrastructure is fundamentally different than in the US. 60% of India lives in the rural areas. In rural areas, we don't have hospitals. So you can't ask those people in the rural areas to go to hospitals because there are none. So you have to take the hospital to the patient. And when you want to take the hospital to the patient, EKG machine better be portable, which you can put on your backpack and take it there. Second, in India, we don't have reliable electricity in rural areas. Therefore, that portable machine better be battery operated. Third, in rural areas, customer affordability is not the same as in rich urban areas. Therefore, that portable machine be ultra low cost. So GE came up with a $1,000 EKG machine, which is ultra low cost, battery operated, portable equipment. Guess what? That has received a huge market in the US. Think about an accident site where the patient has to be treated at the point of care. You cannot wheel a big EKG machine onto a highway, but you can take a portable machine on the accident site. Or think about in hospitals themselves where space is constrained. Think about an operating room where there is a patient and there are 10 people attending on them, surgeons and nurses and so on and so forth. It is very difficult to bring a big, bulky medical imaging equipment into the operating room, whereas you can bring a small portable machine. Therefore, it has opened up all kinds of growth opportunities in the US. So our observation number 1 is when you innovate in emerging markets, you not only grow in emerging markets, but actually you find newer and different applications in the developed markets. Our second point in this HBR article is the way multinationals are organized and run so far, which has led to their success, is actually going to get in the way of innovating in emerging markets. Success of multinationals so far will sow the seeds for failure. Therefore, their organizational architecture that have helped them so far becomes the villain when it comes to innovating in emerging markets. That's observation number 2. The observation number 3, therefore, is we are proposing a new organizational architecture. something where you place not only the resources but also the center of gravity for the organization, you shift it from the US into these emerging markets, which requires a radically new thinking in organization. So those are the three main observations we make in this HBR article. We feel emerging markets is a huge topic for just about every multinational. Therefore, hopefully, multinationals can get some insights as to how to compete effectively in those markets and also bring those innovations home.